We're gonna maintain the integrity of a good neutral spine, so we don't wanna be overly like this, and we also don't wanna be up like this either. So just a natural position like this, like you have a little bit of a lean, like you're about to run. What is up? It's your boy Johnny Street Live, BB Programs and Tell Like It Is. Welcome back to another episode of One Single Exercise. We're gonna optimize for you to make sure that you guys can optimize your training. See how many times you say optimize in one goddamn sentence. Anyway, today we're gonna go over this split squat or stationary lunge. The same thing. Think about a squat, splitting it up and making a split squat, unilateral. Kind of confusing, and it kind of is to me too. But just understand that it's just a split squat and a stationary lunge are the exact same thing. Just go over the progression of just doing a split squat, body weight, adding weight, and then moving up to a Bulgarian split squat. Okay, so if you guys already saw the previous video on a walking lunge, remember the same fundamentals are gonna apply to doing a split squat as well. A couple things I'm gonna show what a lot of people do wrong from the start. Number one, the reason why you guys hate doing split squats is because you're doing them wrong, and that comes from a mechanical breakdown. So when we're looking at the split squat, a lot of times when people do it, they do a couple things. They step back like this, and right away we're at a disadvantage because we're already working on trying to balance ourselves when we do an actual split squat. This already sucks, trying to keep myself balanced. Two, once we actually do the split squat, if people understride or they step forward to get into their lunge, they're too short, they end up doing this thing to get their foot back. And we're just putting our hip flexor in just complete disarray by just doing all this shit on the way back, and then it's not gonna work. So a couple things we can do right away when we're starting doing a split squat. Shoulder width apart. Keep yourself shoulder width apart. Step forward into the lunge instead of back, right? So I wanna step forward. So if I get to here and I realize that, oh man, this is uncomfortable and too short, what I'm gonna do is regain my position and I wanna push my foot out that much more. That way the back foot, which is like my anchor, my hip flexor isn't doing all this extra grindy shit. So again, if I'm gonna start a lunge, I'm gonna step forward. If I'm too short, I'm just gonna push it forward a little further. Now from here, again, when we're talking about a split squat, we're gonna absorb into the glutes. This isn't a primarily quad exercise. We're getting a good amount of hip flexion and knee flexion, so we're gonna get a good combination of both. So we're doing a split squat. We're gonna maintain the integrity of a good neutral spine, so we don't wanna be overly like this, and we also don't wanna be up like this either. So just a natural position like this, like you have a little bit of a lean, like you're about to run. If I was gonna stand up straight, if I was gonna kind of like lean and walk forward, that's what the position of my torso should typically be. So when I step forward, I'm already absorbing the weight into my glute. Now from here, this knee, I want you to think about someone's pulling this knee forward, not necessarily this knee going down, because then we get this. We want this to happen while the back leg does flex so we can get some good movement. Now, when we're doing this again, you want to absorb from the glute. The glute is going to push from the knee. And I can load that glute and that back leg as they come down naturally. And then from here, we're pushing from our heel, from here, toes are gripping the ground, and we're gonna push back and up. The back leg is what everybody forgets because we have this back leg kind of doing this, and then we have this back leg kind of just kind of wonky like this, so we're trying to press up. Both legs are working for each other. The back legs help stabilize and balance. So I do want to see a good amount of level of you pushing through that back foot in a plantar flex position. I look very athletic right now. Now I don't. And the other mistake I see all the time is this. This does not look athletic whatsoever. Nobody walks like this, lunges like this, or anything like this. If your heel's down on the back, what we want to do is, I say pretend you got a stiletto on all the time. Big stiletto. So when we go down, the back of my heel stays off the ground, and I'm just pivoting on that ankle. I don't want to have it doing this. That's usually what happens. I get this. Why? Because this is just trying to go straight down, and this is you got to absorb all the weight. You should be able to do a split squat with most of the weight not necessarily even on that back foot. So I should be able to press up and absorb. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt again, but everything I'm talking about now, I go over in my coaching and in my ebook. So make sure you guys pick yourself a copy of the ebook. Or if you want to know about coaching, grab yourself a consult, 15 to 30 minutes. At the end of the consult, I deduct the consult off any package that you pick. Anyway, back to the show. So again, when we start, just body weight, we're going to step forward, absorbing into our glutes and our heel. You can see how my knee already wants to travel forward. right? If I just step back, sometimes it's good, but most of the time we're gonna end up doing this, going straight down, and we need that knee to do this. To start again, we're gonna move forward. We're gonna be shoulder width apart, step forward, find our position. Back foot is gonna be plantar flex and active. You can actually internally rotate a little bit of the hip to keep that engaged. And then from here, that knee is gonna be pulled forward while the back knee collapses a bit, stays active. And then I push myself back up through those heels and toe back up while my back leg is actually active as well too. Don't leave it off. Keep yourself in a nice position, neutral spine. Keep the integrity of your chest staying up, shoulders depressed, and then let everything travel forward and back. Forward and back. Same thing if I grab dumbbells, if we're doing them with two hands, same thing as doing a walking lunge. Keep yourself in this position. We're gonna walk forward, absorbing. You almost let the arm with the leg that's back, almost kind of like naturally curve into it, so not doing this. Let it naturally sit here, and we're down and up. Remember, my knee is going forward and then pushing back. My knee is going forward and pushing back. And I can feel that weight going right through my glute and my quad and both on the way up. And that back foot is staying active the entire time. Now, if we're gonna do one hand, counterbalance the weight, put it on the leg, that's forward. And from here, we can sit and go down and up. Knees traveling forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. So moving on to the final progression, we're doing a Bulgarian split squat. A lot of you guys probably just cringe as soon as I said it. You're like, ooh, goddamn, that's hard. It's hard because it's the progression. It's the hardest type of split squat, I believe, because obviously we're unilaterally working and then we're putting that load, forcing it on that front leg while the back leg stays still active, but it's not doing much pressing at all, just stabilizing. So a couple of things, again, we don't want to start from here and then jump up like this. What we want to do is, you're going to have a little bit of feeling here. We have to be able to kind of look back to where you're at. Again, same fundamentals from the front. We're not going to keep our feet like this. We want to make sure they're opened up. And we're going to reach back where the bench is. Now from here, if I'm like, oh, I'm too far or too close, what I do is I'm gonna hop a bit like that. And then I know that I'm basically where I need to be. Now where my feet go again, the exact same, that knee's gonna travel forward. And then that back hip's gonna dip down. You can see how my hip kind of drives down and opens that hip, right? So I'm getting full hip extension from here, and knee flexion and hip flexion from here. So we're up. And when hey guys, starting up, but a lot of you guys are watching the video but not subscribed. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit those post notifications. So next time I put a video, you'll be the first ones to get it. And hopefully by the time now, you guys like the video, if you guys stick around long enough. So make sure you guys hit the like button and keep watching. Back to the show. We're doing this, I'll show you from this side. My back foot, I like to have my back foot flat. Sometimes people don't because they feel like, oh, my calves keep cramping, my toes cramp. Drink some water and up your sodium. Figure it out, all right? That's not a reason to not do it the way you should. Sometimes we're doing it like this, we lose a little bit of those hips. A lot of you guys aren't flexible or mobile in your hips, so doing it like this is gonna make your hips feel that much more. So what we wanna do is let that leg sit flat on the bench. And we're going down, think about like the top of my foot is letting that joint freely run, right? So I'm not necessarily just balancing on my toe like this and trying to hold this position. I'm pushing it back so it literally stays here, and I'm doing all the work from that front leg. Now again, from here, my knee's gonna travel forward, my glutes are gonna absorb. You see right here how much hip flexion I have and knee flexion. But again, my torso stays in this position. Now from holding a weight, holding this side, pushing up the same way. Knee's gonna go up, forward, up, and forward. If you see my back leg, it's not doing anything but just leaving a position there to keep myself stabilized and balanced. So a couple things to remember when you're doing unilateral work, and I've been very guilty of it myself. So give yourself some time in between each side, each leg, each arm, whatever it is, because again, you don't want to rob yourself of not having enough wind or recovery time to get the most out of the opposite leg. So if you're gonna do a set on one leg, rest, and then do the other set on the other leg. Best advice I can give when it comes to just doing unilateral work And that translates to every other movement you do that is unilateral. Anyway, guys, hope that makes it easier for you guys to understand how to do Bulgarian split squats or split squats. Remember, guys, the progression is from a bodyweight split squat, then we can use dumbbells, barbell, then the most taxing will be obviously the Bulgarian split squat itself, weighted, body weight, barbell, whatever it is. There's your progression. Take those tips and fundamentals and put it to your training next time you do legs. Put it in there. Anyway, guys, hope you guys liked the video. If you did, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. You know, become out that tell like it is, transparent, involved truth. For coaching, johnnyshreve.com. If you want to know about my coaching, book a phone call, 15 to 30 minutes. You guys already heard that part I said earlier in the video. So make sure you guys do it. And just do it. Just do it. Anyway, guys, make sure you hit the description below. Hit those discount codes and promo codes that'll help save your life or change your life for the better. And also, guys, add me on Instagram and TikTok. Send me your progress pics, your foodie pics, and your training clips, and I'll repost it for you. Because you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.